It's been 6 months since my in-laws moved into our home, promising it would be a temporary arrangement. However, they show no signs of leaving. Instead of contributing, they avoid work and constantly ask us for money. Our savings are dwindling, yet my husband, Tony, seems reluctant to ask them to leave. Whenever I glance up, I catch my father-in-law and mother-in-law smirking at me, pushing me to the brink of my patience. If they think they can mock me without consequences, they're sorely mistaken. My name is Anna. I'm 35 years old and have been married to Tony for 5 years. We met at our favorite bar and got married after dating for 18 months. We've faced our share of challenges, but overall, life has been good. Tony, what time do you think you'll be home today? I asked, trying to keep my frustration in check. Maybe around 7 o'clock p.m. I might have to work late today. For dinner, just make something when we get back. I'll be watching TV till then. All right. Although we both work, I handle all the housework. We initially agreed to share responsibilities, but Tony hardly helps. When he does, it's usually to complain. Argue only leads to more disputes and he just stops doing chores altogether. It's quicker if I just do everything myself. This has been our routine since our 2nd year of marriage. Then one day, I came home from work to find Tony deep in conversation on the phone. Oh, okay, that's fine with me. Got it, I'll let Anna know. Talk later. He hung up and I asked, who was that? Oh, that was Dad and Mom. Apparently, they got a leak in their house. A leak? Especially during this rainy season? Yeah, and they want to stay with us for a while. Stay with us? You mean move in? Well, we do have the extra room. It's not a big deal. Are you kidding me? I don't want to live with them, especially not those two. I'm not thrilled about living with my in-laws for a reason. They're terrible with money. My father-in-law is obsessed with the lottery despite having a stable job. My mother-in-law works part-time just once a week. They constantly waste money and frequently ask us for financial help. When my step-grandfather was hospitalized, my in-laws didn't even visit. I was the one caring for him and visiting regularly. Anna, I can't thank you enough. Don't mention it. We're family. Here's a week's worth of clothes for you. Always so kind. If my family ever causes any trouble, let me know right away. I'll take care of it. Thank you. I just hope things get better soon. I'll repay your kindness someday. After his release, my step-grandfather, disillusioned with my in-laws, asked them to leave. With nowhere else to go and minimal savings, they ended up renting a cheap apartment. So when Tony refers to the parents' house, he's talking about the apartment my in-laws moved into. Their behavior is so troubling that even their own parent disapproves, which makes me all the more anxious about having them live with us. I'm sorry, but I can't just let them move in all of a sudden, I told Tony firmly. What? I understand they're in trouble, but remember when they asked us for money for living expenses? If they move in with us, they'll depend on us even more. Don't worry, I'll talk to them about it. Talk to them. What exactly will you say? I'll suggest they each cover their own expenses. That should work, right? But you want them to stay in a house with a leak? That's not what I meant. Tony gave me a stern look, and I felt a pang of guilt. I don't want to be cold to my in-laws, but given our past, I'm apprehensive about living together. Still, I can't just abandon them. Reluctantly, I agreed to Tony's plan. Okay, but just until the leak is fixed, right? Yeah, I guess so. So, it's temporary. That's what I said. They're struggling. They'll be here tomorrow. Got it, but make sure you talk to them about handling their own expenses, okay? Tony rolled his eyes and said, yeah. What's with the attitude? After all the concessions I've made, this is how he responds. All I can do now is hope the repairs get done quickly. The next morning, while it was still early, the doorbell rang. I answered the door to find my parents-in-law standing there. Hi, Anna. Good morning. Anna, it's been a while. Shall we come in? Father-in-law, mother-in-law, I thought you were coming later today. Well, we were going to buy some lottery tickets first, but we spent all our money yesterday. I had planned to use the winnings for a salon visit, but now look at this mess. I couldn't believe it. If they'd spent all their money, just how much had they wasted on lottery tickets? Could they really manage their own expenses? My anxiety was through the roof from the start, and as I feared, my worries soon came true. 2 weeks in, I opened the fridge to find it completely empty, no eggs, bacon, veggies, or even bread. Wait, what happened? All the food was here last night. Mother-in-law, coming down the stairs looking groggy, asked Morning Anna. Is breakfast ready? No, because all the food from the fridge is missing. Did you? The fridge, the eggs, the bacon, the bread. I was saving that for breakfast. I couldn't hide my frustration. Mother-in-law's face brightened. Oh, we had that as a midnight snack. You ate everything as a midnight snack. We were hungry. Me, your husband, and Tony. We just cooked up what we found. Without asking me, it's not just about being family. I had plans for that food. Well, I'm hungry now. I've already told you, since you ate everything, there's nothing left for breakfast. So now it's our fault. Maybe if you stocked up better. What? Just get something for breakfast now. I was fuming at mother-in-law's selfish comments. The idea of shopping for breakfast ingredients when I was about to head to work was ridiculous. I quickly got dressed and left for the office without saying a word. Soon after, I started receiving angry text messages from both Tony and mother-in-law. Where are you? Husband and Tony are up. Hey Anna, where did you go? My parents are hungry. You didn't go to work, did you? What about our breakfast? Anna, don't ignore mom's messages. It's rude. My phone buzzed constantly with a flood of pointless messages. Naturally, I didn't respond and ignored them all. When I returned home, Tony and my in-laws were there, arms crossed and visibly upset. Waiting for me, Tony glared at me and spoke with frustration. Anna, what the hell? What? Mom and Dad were starving because you ate everything. And wasn't the agreement that we all contribute to living expenses? Yet I'm paying for everything. Stop making a fuss every time. So you see, it's not just a fuss. This is important, and the living expenses, well, that was your idea. Enough. I'll cover Mom and Dad's expenses. Just take care of the housework, okay? After shouting at me, Tony stormed off to the living room. My in-laws stood there, smirking at my expense. Why am I being blamed for everything? This whole mess started because of them, not me. From that day forward, their condescending attitudes only seemed to increase. Despite my mounting frustration, I tried to manage each day as best I could. Then 6 months into living with my in-laws, I checked our joint bank account for the first time in a while and was stunned by what I saw. What? What's going on? Nearly $20,000 is missing. The balance was far lower than the last time I checked. There were not only direct withdrawals but also transactions from the debit card that Tony uses. I knew I had to confront him immediately. Tony, what's going on here? Why are you shouting? Just calm down. Calm down? Look at this. Explain. I thrust the bank statement at him. Oh, that. What's the big deal? The big deal? Look, where did $20,000 go? This is the account for your debit card, right? What did you spend it on? It wasn't me. I gave that debit card to Mom and Dad. What? The shocking revelation made everything go dark. I was desperate for answers. Why are they using a card linked to our joint account? What choice did I have? Mom and Dad said they were broke, and I promised to cover their living expenses. Well, I didn't know about that. If you made the promise, Tony, you should have used your own account. Why did it come out of our joint account? Ah, you always blow things out of proportion. What's the big deal? They're family too, right? I was fed up with Tony's blatant misuse of our funds. All the frustration I'd been holding back surged to the surface. I've had enough. Just because they're family doesn't mean they can do whatever they want. That account holds half of my savings too. Out of the $30,000 we had, $20,000 is gone, $5,000 more than your share. Since when did you become so greedy? It's really unattractive. I'm not being greedy, but how long are you planning to let your parents stay with us? It's been 6 months. The roof repair should have been finished by now. Raising my voice, I stared at Tony, trying to process his words. Repairs? Oh, you mean for their place? They decided to give that up. Wait, give it up. They said this place was cozy and didn't want to spend money on repairs, so they ended their apartment lease. Looks like we'll be living together for the foreseeable future. This had to be some sort of joke. I hadn't agreed to this. Who cares what you think? They're family. You're just a daughter-in-law. Sit down, be quiet, and deal with it. A surge of anger, unlike anything I'd ever felt, coursed through me. Is that how they see it? That I'm the villain here? If that's the way they want to play it, I'm done holding back. Determined to take action, I picked up the phone and called someone I needed to come over. A few hours later, Tony's step-grandfather arrived in response to my call. The sight of him visibly unsettled Tony and his parents. Gee, grandfather, what are you doing here? Tony stammered. Before Tony could say more, the step-grandfather spoke firmly. What do you think you're doing? Anna filled me in on everything. Gee, grandfather, why the sudden visit? Anna told you. We haven't done anything. Be quiet, Tony. How could you, as her husband, not protect Anna from this mess? And you too, what kind of parents are you to behave like this? Tony's parents quivered under the step-grandfather's intense gaze. Dad, you don't understand. There's a reason. No, 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 father-in-law. Anna's just making things up. Just making things up. You've been spending Anna's savings without asking. Calm down, Dad. Our apartment had a leak, so wait. Exactly. We only intended to stay here till the repairs were completed. Right. Anna says you left the apartment without informing her. Should I contact the realtor to verify? Dad, wait, it's not as simple as that. We've got a situation. Frustrated, the step-grandfather interrupted. You all need to stop this. You might think you can do whatever you want because I'm not around, but you're mistaken. I'm glad I exchanged contact details with Anna for situations like this. Dad and Anna exchanged contacts. When? Be quiet. Do you understand how generous Anna has been up to now? Yes, we're sorry. Listen, if you've ever caused trouble for Anna again, I won't hesitate to cut ties with all of you and expose your disgrace to the entire family. Do you understand? Yes, we understand. We won't do it again. Please forgive us. Tony's parents, tearful and desperate, pleaded for mercy as the step-grandfather made his demands clear. You have 1 month to repay every cent of Anna's money. If not, I'll sever all ties, and Tony, from now on, I'll be living here with you. Any objections? Live here with you. Got a problem with that, Tony? The step-grandfather pressed. No, not at all. Tony and his parents were visibly shaken by the step-grandfather's words. Afterward, the step-grandfather had Tony's parents removed and took on the role of guardian, moving into our home. Meanwhile, Tony's parents rented a cheaper apartment and are now working hard to repay the money they owe me. The father-in-law can no longer indulge in his lottery fantasies, and the mother-in-law has had to increase her part-time work to 5 days a week. Without the luxury of free spending, they are clearly struggling. Since the step-grandfather moved in, Tony has stopped making demeaning remarks toward me entirely. If Tony even tries to complain, the step-grandfather is quick to step in. Tony, don't act superior in front of Anna. Grandfather, that's not what I meant. I heard you talking back to Anna. I'm sorry, I won't do it again. If you dare repeat that behavior, you'll face the same consequences as those other two. Please just spare me. From that point on, Tony began helping with household chores, which significantly eased my workload. Thanks to his increased contribution, my stress levels decreased, allowing me to focus more on my job. Step-grandfather, I can't thank you enough. It's nothing, the step-grandfather said with a wave of his hand. Remember when I was hospitalized 5 years ago? You were the only one who came to visit. It meant a lot, especially since you had just gotten married. It was the right thing to do as family, I replied. That's how I feel too. I just wanted to help my troubled family. I'm deeply grateful to the step-grandfather for rescuing me from this situation. I hope to support him in